Elizabeth Schulze joins me now from the White House along with Jay O'Brien on the Hill. Elizabeth, let's start with you. What more do we know about what's exactly in this deal?
Hey, Alexis, so the top line here to understand is that this bill essentially would allow the government to keep paying its bills for 2 more years. That debt ceiling suspension would go till January 1st, 2025. At that point, there could be another kind of showdown over the debt limit. Of course, that would be after the 2024 presidential election. And then you have these new restrictions on government spending. Generally, overall spending on domestic programs is flat, while we know that defense spending would go up a little bit. And then there are these other sticking points that we've been talking about throughout these negotiations over the past few weeks. IRS money will get reallocated. Some of those COVID relief funds will get clawed back. We also, as we've been going through this 99-page text, found that there was surprise approval for a natural gas pipeline that Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia had been pushing for. What is not in this bill, Alexis, is also important. There are not new sources of revenue, which is something that the White House had been pushing for. Taxes on the wealthiest Americans and on big corporations. As of now, those did not make the cut, Alexis.
And Jay, how are Democrats and Republicans going to sell this deal to Congress? Who's putting up the biggest fight at this point?
Well, we know that whip operation is already underway on both sides of the aisle. Speaker McCarthy making sure that he can sell this bill to his Republicans in the House. President Biden making sure he can sell it to Democrats as well. And it's moderates who are going to be very key here, Alexis, especially moderate Democrats. I was talking with one top House GOP source who said that they expect House Democrats, particularly those moderates, to be crucial in passing this bill because as you saw in Elizabeth's piece, several House Republicans have already come out and said they do not like what's in this legislation. So you have to offset those Republican defections potentially with Democratic votes. That's why you're seeing this dual whip operation playing out at once, something that Kevin McCarthy and President Biden agree on, something rare, that this bill needs to pass swiftly through the Congress. And if it can get through the House, when it gets voted on Wednesday, has to go to the Senate, and there's complications there too. We've already heard from some Senate Republicans who say they do not like what's in this bill, and the majority leader over in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, warning that if there are filibusters from Republicans or Democrats who don't like parts of this bill, that could procedurally push this vote back days, even into the weekend. And remember, the deadline to raise the debt ceiling, according to the Treasury, is that Monday, June 5th.
Yeah, it's a really tight timeline right now. So, Elizabeth, what do we know about how the White House is going to try to push this forward? What's their potential timeline?
Alexis, we know that the White House and officials from the administration have been briefing Democrats on what exactly is in this, trying to get them on board. You know, the hope is to have that vote in the House on Wednesday. And then, you know, as Jay mentioned, trying to set this up to get quickly through the Senate. Of course, one of the key provisions is that 72-hour rule, which we are now in, which requires House members to read the text. And McCarthy yesterday told us this is also for the public to read the bill. We want to make sure that people understand what is in this as we then go ahead and vote. So setting up a possible weekend vote in the Senate, according to Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. The White House really making the point that this needs to get done quickly. But ultimately, interestingly, Alexis, the president said there were compromises here. This is a line that we heard from both President Biden and House Speaker McCarthy, the acknowledgement that they did not each get exactly what they wanted in this bill. That's a message that they are relaying to their own parties as they really push to try to get this done before June 5th. That is, of course, the date that the U.S. government could run out of cash if this isn't a done deal at that time.
Yeah, as McCarthy said, in a divided government, that's what you get. Elizabeth, Jay, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.